are back for another half-loaded episode of Get a Load of This. I am Jarod.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Rebecca.
I left out the Silver Creek Studios part.
It's okay. They know where we're at.
Yeah, we know.
Well, maybe they don't. You know,
Who
we've
knows?
been to
Yeah.
other places.
Yeah.
It's been.
We were over there at one point.
Do we call this like Studio 2A?
Studio B? I don't know. Yeah.
We should
Studio
probably.
54.
That's a whole different animal. Yeah.
Well, we were talking about Kurt Russell and how we all like him and he's cool, and a little bit about Kate Hudson and her mom. You just said her name.
Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask you guys, have you seen her in anything recently?
Goldie Hawn.
Yeah.
Only that Santa Claus thing.
The Santa Claus. What was that called?
No. What?
Yeah. Last year.
It's not the
And
Santa
then she
Claus.
was
Netflix.
also in a movie with oh my
Amy
god,
Schumer.
Yes.
That's the only thing I've seen her in
She was
10 years at
hysterical.
least. She was funny, but she was definitely like, she's got plastic shit holding her face up. And like,
She's
you
had
know,
some
I
work.
feel a
Oh,
little,
sure.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
had some
Well,
significant
she's 900
work.
years old.
I don't know. How old
But
is she?
I think she's still just adorable, and
Yeah,
I think
she's
it's great
cool.
how
Yeah.
Kate looks so much like her.
Yeah.
She's 73 years old.
Damn.
Goldie Jean Hawn.
She
Apparently,
was so pretty when she was younger.
yeah.
Those giant blue eyes.
Well, and Kate Hudson looks just like her. I mean, she
That's
really
what I
is.
just
Yeah,
said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm trying
That's
to
okay.
trying to find the latest movie she was
Well,
in.
and apparently, I mean, their father had to have been somewhat of a looker because Oliver Hudson is incredibly handsome.
Is he an actor?
He is.
Would
He
I
is.
know something he's been in? Is he older, younger than
I think
Kate?
he's. I don't know. I don't want to misspeak. Like they're going to be listening.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
we
want
wouldn't
to piss off
want to
Oliver
offend
Hudson.
them.
Right.
The Christmas Chronicles is the name of the thing that they were in. That was the last thing that she was in.
Okay. I never saw that.
There's something called Diva Nation that has no details. I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's upcoming. Prior to that, Snatched.
That's the one with Amy Schumer.
That was
Yeah.
funny.
It was
Was it?
funny. Even
So-
though Amy Schumer, come and go with her, but anyway.
He was
yep.
in a lot of movies. Oh, he was in Walk of Shame. That's right. He was in Nashville, which was a show that I watched. Splitting Up Together, that show. He was the lead
None of
in
this
it.
sounds
It was on, I
familiar.
think it was on ABC. He was in Grown Ups 2, Rules of
Okay.
Engagement, Scream
Huh.
Queens, The Christmas Chronicles. He was also in that.
All right.
Oh, he
Interesting.
was?
Uh-huh.
What the hell are you doing that?
I don't remember.
Doesn't matter. That was actually a pretty good Christmas. As Christmas movies go, you know, we're getting into that season too.
Oh, yeah.
There's very. I mean, you know, Hallmark movies. They introduce Christmas movies every damn year, and they're always the same formula.
Yeah.
You know, boy goes back, girl goes back home, whatever it is, and now they were the ugly duckling that's become the beautiful swan, and yeah, they're usually shit movies with bad acting.
Yeah.
But the Christmas Chronicles was pretty solid, pretty solid story. It was actually
Yeah.
a good Christmas movie, and there's not many new good Christmas movies. There's just not. I mean,
Well, I think that you know, there's, like you said, the Hallmark ones that are cheesy and
Yeah, they're not good.
so
Yeah.
fake. I still find myself watching them.
Do your kids like the classics? It's a Wonderful Life,
Yes.
White Christmas.
They get a little bored with White Christmas. They do like It's a Wonderful Life. I have girls, so
Yeah.
they're sentimental.
Neither of my kids will watch either of those two movies.
Yeah.
I
Well, White
don't-
Many
Christmas
of the
is
others.
like a tradition for
Yeah.
me. Like I must watch it, and then
Yeah.
I have to listen to all the music over and over and over again.
Sister.
Uh-huh.
it's a pretty good movie.
Sisters.
It's a pretty good. I mean, just despite Christmas movie, it's
That's
just
one of my
a good
favorites.
Yes.
movie.
Never were there more devoted.
So they no, my kids. I don't think they've seen any of that shit.
You don't think they've seen them?
Probably not all the way through.
Oh,
A
no.
Christmas Story,
wow.
though, because that's a classic.
I feel like that's bad
everybody loves
parenting.
that.
You can only sit them down, strap them down for so
Hey.
long, you know.
2 hours, hour and a half.
The Chuck I think his speech has changed, but he was doing a speech that was kind of loosely based on It's a Wonderful Life. You know, what
Okay.
would life be like if I didn't exist? You know,
But he
like-
hasn't seen it?
right, and that was part of
Gotta
the problem.
do
He's
some
like, so
studying
it's
up.
about this, it's about this, and I'm like, so It's a Wonderful Life, and he's like, yeah, that's what Coach said too, and I haven't seen that. I don't know what you're
He
talking
needs
about.
to watch it. It's a great movie.
It is
yeah,
a good movie.
It is.
It's a
great.
really good movie.
But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I think the same goes for whenever we were kids. If our dad sat us down and said, "This is a great movie. It's called Fistful of Dollars," and we're like,
Yeah.
I don't want to watch another
And
Western.
Rebecca's asleep.
Yeah, and I'm out. And it's the same. It's like you show them a black and white movie, they're like, "Where's the fucking color? What's going on
Right.
here?" You know, it doesn't track.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. I feel like it should translate. It should be timeless, but
I
our
agree.
kids don't. My kids don't care. Your kids do
Yeah,
like
well,
it, though, right?
Morgan was, she was a dancer. She was in theater. She did all that kind of stuff, which is why she appreciated it. And I want to say that Mallory, by default, just,
The waist on that Clooney, or no, not Clooney, the other one.
oh, not Rosemary Clooney. Yeah, what is her name?
It's
the
ridiculous.
legs.
She had a record.
Oh my
I think
God,
it
it
was
was just
for
like
the skinniest waist.
But then it turned out she was like
it's
not healthy and
completely
like
unhealthy. I mean, what
Right.
the hell are you doing to your organs? Where the fuck is your
Right.
spleen?
Where is
Yeah.
everything?
Yeah.
What
Because
is
it
her
doesn't
name?
fit
Did you
there.
say her name?
No.
I
You
don't
can
know.
fit your internal organs into a beer can. You
Right.
might have some health issues.
Right.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
I get when did the movies kick off? I mean, next week we got Thanksgiving? Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. A week from this weekend.
So I guess that means like all that shit kicks off, right? We're gonna have the whole the 25 days of Christmas on whatever channel that is, Freeform or whatever, where they just fucking beat the shit out of you with Christmas
Vera
movies.
Ellen was her name.
That was a skinny waist one?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Google knows,
Doesn't
right?
sound familiar. You sure it's not that Rosemary Clooney bitch?
No, Rosemary
that's-
Clooney's right under her.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yep. Judy
you.
Haynes, Vera Ellen.
And she's a pretty good looker there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought she was extremely attractive. Upper left there.
Dude, she's like older
mean,
than
that's
your
not even a good photo of her,
grandmother. That's
At the
gross.
time,
Holy
she was,
shit, look at
she
Rosemary
was a
Clooney.
looker.
She
Yeah,
did
they
not
put a
age
terrible
well.
picture of
Why
her
would
in
you-
there.
I know.
I'd be
Why would you do
pissed
that?
If I was her.
Right?
Oof. Poor
I
kid.
always thought Bing Crosby was so handsome. Then I found out he beat his children.
Oh, really?
Well, they probably had a damn good reason to.
No, apparently he was a giant dick.
Yeah, maybe that too.
Yeah, but
But-
what did they do?
Yeah, I'm sure they did
That's
something.
right. You were telling me tonight. You showed up at the house and I was still making chili and whatever, and you said, "Did you hear that story of the guy that murdered his wife in Creve
Yeah.
Coeur?" And I was like, "What did
What'd
she do?"
I haven't read any more since
Well,
early
other
this
than
morning.
They think they found the body.
Yeah, they were pretty confident that they found the body. He was in custody and apparently cooperating. Is the article that I read through his attorney. They were cooperating, and so at some point, you say no.
No, I had an itch.
Oh, at some point, everybody at this point now just wants to know why. So hopefully we get the why.
You know?
As disturbing as it is, we all like, what the heck? She's 28 years old.
Right.
What could she have possibly done wrong?
Well,
Or what?
You know
How
what?
bad could life have been?
I feel like
There's a
there
right
could be
way
a lot
and a
of
wrong
things.
way to fold socks. And, you can only push the envelope for so long. How come it's not on, like, STL Today?
This I don't know. Look on Fox.
Media bias.
I'm just trying to get her name, right? Because
Unions.
I just saw it today. But yeah, it's a shame. I mean, you saw the story a couple days ago, and it's like, and they had brought the husband in for questioning or
Well,
whatever.
as soon as they said that he had been seen on video surveillance at whatever store buying bleach and cleaning products and all that kind of stuff, I'm like, dude, you did it.
Maybe he needs to clean his kitchen.
No,
Never
not with that
know.
much bleach.
Yeah, I still can't find it.
There's a scene in that show. I won't give too much away, but he basically goes to a hardware store and he's buying a shovel and bleach and this and that, duct tape and tarp and whatever. And the chick at the checkout is just like looking at him like, really? And then his last question to her is, "Do you know where I can buy a gun?" And she's just like, And then the next
Jesus.
scene is him with a package of a gun inside. It's like she
Oh my
clearly told him where to
God.
get a gun.
Right.
So
Anyway.
holy crap! I'm trying to read. I'm just trying to find this article, but just let me. I mean, I know we shouldn't read headlines on the
Right.
podcast, but Jesus Christ, what a fucking pathetic, disgusting world we live in.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why I don't look at the news that I try to, especially local news. But this is FoxNews.com.
That's alarming.
Yeah, so I'm going to skip over the
Impeachment stuff.
impeachment
Yeah.
crap because it's all just reiterations of blathering idiots, right? So, pregnant woman killed by dogs during hunt in woods. Investigators say.
Jesus.
I'm
Wow.
not even going to read the story, right? Let's see. Lori Laughlin, Massimo Giannulli facing new charges in college admission case.
As they should.
Okay. Let's see. Missouri woman, age 78, accused of killing daughter.
That was in Fenton.
In
that was
hotel
right by me.
In an attempted murder-suicide.
Yes, her
Right,
daughter
you were
was
saying
51 years old. A special needs daughter, 51 years old. Yes. Like, what could...
High school students allegedly attacked autistic teen in bathroom, leaving him unconscious in a pool of blood. What the fuck are we doing? What the fuck is wrong with this society?
Yeah, people are fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, I still haven't found the damn article. That woman pleads guilty to murdering 3 sons, gets decades in prison. Why not life? She murdered her 3 fucking children. Why doesn't she get life?
She should get life.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on here? Illinois woman convicted of murdering boyfriend's 8-year-old daughter. Jesus. Bride to be wakes from surgery to find legs amputated. Wishes to walk down aisle at wedding. That headline just seems like I probably should have proofread that one.
Legs amputated, wishes to walk.
I don't know.
Well, we talked on the last episode about the education system, and I was talking to my mom the other day when we were talking about salaries with my kids and nephew. And I said, yeah, don't you get paid more in some of these high-risk school districts? And we mentioned we know somebody that teaches in Cahokia.
Is that a high-risk area?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And she...
A little more than... I mean, there's worse.
It's a lot more.
Well, go to Ferguson.
Well, Cahokia is pretty bad. But she said, yeah, one of the teachers there got raped by 3 students, and it was like an orchestrated...
Holy crap.
One of them stood guard at the door while one of them watched while the other one did it in the classroom. And these are teenagers. These are 15, 16, 17, whatever.
Where's that?
Raped a student or teacher in
the school. When did this happen?
I don't know. Recently.
Like,
not like last week.
Year.
No, but like, yeah.
And we don't know.
I guess we haven't heard about it.
What the fuck?
That brings up another point that Rick mentioned one time because we're all over the place here, but it's half loaded, so it's okay.
Everything's okay. Nobody's listening.
We were talking about
Jennifer Rothwell.
That's her name, yeah.
28 years old. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. We were talking about the sex scandals in the Catholic Church, right? So we all have this stereotype of priests that are abusing young boys or whatever, right?
Yep.
And I'm sure at one point I described it as like, a real problem or an issue that should have been dealt with long ago and whatever, right?
Sure, yeah.
And I'll just call him out. I think I already did. Rick kind of blew it off like, well, that's no big deal. Like those, not that it's no big deal, but he said the numbers of that are far less than the number of kids that get sexually abused in school. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, oh my God, yeah, it's not even close. And so we started looking it up, and there's all these statistics. Now, it's a much more broad spectrum in school when you start talking about, like, what if a teacher says the word fuck? Is that a sexual assault? Well, no.
So,
or it is, but it's on the spectrum, right? What if a teacher shows pornography in class?
Right.
Okay, that's a problem too. But so this was including that, but it was also including like rapes and sexual assaults and whatever. But anyway, and I was like, why aren't we hearing about that?
Right.
And his go-to answer was teachers' unions. They are in bed with the media, and you won't hear about it because they're covering it up. And I was like,
no kidding.
No, I don't want to believe that.
Disturbing.
But it is very
if that
disturbing.
is true, that is very disturbing.
And he wholeheartedly believes that.
Interesting.
That the media is covering up issues with schools because they all work together and they get paid together and they benefit from things together. And
there may be some element of truth to it. I never really thought about it that way. I would think that it'd be really hard to cover up sexual abuse. I think where I thought you were going.
Teacher's hand.
Yeah, I mean, I think
you would think that's what I said. I'm like, how are we not hearing about that?
Right.
It doesn't matter whose bed you're lying in. If you're a reporter, you're covering that story.
Yeah,
but he's like, no, it goes away. It gets brushed. There's a little.
I think that there's some imbalance when it comes to like if a male teacher has a relation, let's say he's a 30-year-old male English teacher who has a relationship with a high school senior female and a sexual relationship.
Yeah.
And they,
if she's 18,
yeah, well,
doesn't matter.
Let's say she's not. Let's say she's 17, 16.
Okay, that's illegal.
That's illegal, right?
Yeah.
So a 30-year-old female teacher has a relationship with a 16-year-old male. It's illegal. But the rules aren't exactly...
Mary Kay Letourneau, she went to jail.
Right, they did, but yeah, I think if you were a male, I think the punishment would have been, I don't know, there's probably examples out there. I'm just speculating at this point. But I think that the punishments aren't equal.
Really?
I think that males who can commit those types of crimes
I think it's an equally heinous crime on both sides.
I think that whatever they should all be treated.
No, it is.
Oh, I'm only being,
if they're 18,
sarcastic.
Sarcastic.
But like if you're 17, a 17-year-old male student, of course, wants to bang the hot teacher, right?
Of course, but the hot teacher should have enough ethical sense to know that that's not something you should do.
But it's also, I completely agree. I completely agree. But it wouldn't take manipulation or influence or intimidation to get that 17-year-old boy to want to bang that kid, right?
But
where if you flipped it around, you might say this male teacher used his influence on this innocent girl or whatever.
I get
when
what you're
like
saying.
the dude is the 17-year-old boy is like horny and can't wait to bang this chick.
17-year-old girl may just be enamored by this by this teacher.
This brilliant teacher.
I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying.
No, I know you're not. But I think that the common denominator in that whole thing is that the teachers are supposed to say, this is not okay. I'm not going to do this. Right. You know, my high school choir teacher had a relationship my junior year with a senior.
What?
And we all, there was a lot of rumors and we all kind of assumed it. And then one time I was standing in Emo's picking up a pizza and they walked in together.
Ooh, interesting.
Jesus.
And not only because he was...
After high school or still in high school?
I was still in high school.
So she had just graduated. You said she was a senior.
Graduated.
She was a senior. So I don't know if like school was over or whatever, but it was in her senior year. Okay. She could have very well been 18. And at that point, there was no harm, no foul, you know, other than the ethical side of things, you know.
Right.
And like I remember I kind of turned around and sure, shooting, there they are. And I was all... Couldn't wait to get home and call 14 people at the same time on my party.
I just saw.
Believe what I saw.
Yeah. And they ended up having a child together.
Huh.
I don't know if they married. I don't know how long they were together, but I ended up, when I was working at the portrait studio, she came in with said
the
child.
Children, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yep, I know.
Is this my English teacher's kid?
That looks like the choir teacher. Like there's no denying that's my choir teacher's child. Yeah. Yep.
Ryan, I don't know if you were here for now I got to think when this was.
Where would I have been?
Well, I'm trying to think. Was this when I was in school or when our kids were in school? I'm trying to remember. It had to be.
What in our town?
I don't know.
Here?
It was in our town though. Okay, so there was a male teacher, relatively young. I don't know how young, but he was a youngish guy, an attractive guy. He was a fun personality. All the girls liked him, right? And if you recall, before the new high school was built, the old high school had some trailers outside where they had to expand. Right. They were overflowing. So he had one of these trailers outside, out of the school building, where his class was. Anyway, there was this girl.
What did he teach?
English.
Okay. Just curious.
Does that matter? I don't know.
I think there might be a trend. There might be a pattern there.
Oh, okay.
English teachers.
Yeah. So anyway, there was this girl who had some kind of note.
They really know how to conjugate a verb, if you know what I mean.
Oh my God, that was awful.
She had a note that described some kind of thing with him, like a situation that they did or whatever we're going to do or she wanted to have happen.
Like she wrote the note to a friend?
Well, and that was, I think so, yes.
Okay.
And her parents found this note in her backpack or something. And they told the school. And it definitely seemed like they had something going on when they didn't. It was just her inventing this thing. Yeah. And so, of course, they looked into it a little bit, and it eventually came out that no, she just made all this up because all the girls had a crush on him.
Crush on the teacher.
And she wanted to be the one that actually did the thing that everybody else said they wanted to do, right? So here's this male teacher who's like, none of this is true. Like, what the hell? But he was also, this isn't, I don't know. I won't say he was flirty, but he was friendly with everybody. But a lot
Fine
of
line
girls
there.
too, right? Yeah. And so it was like, hey, you aren't doing yourself any favors by being friendly with these girl students. Anyway, it eventually supposedly came out that he didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't, she just invented this whole thing. But they kind of punished him by, like, he had to, his classroom had to be moved inside the building instead of the trailer where people could kind of keep an eye on things. He had to quit being the sponsor of one of the clubs. He was the sponsor of like I forget what it was.
So he left, right? He went to another school district.
Eventually he did. Eventually he moved, but there was like 2 years where he stayed there.
Right.
And he basically is being punished for something he didn't do. Because that was the way to like please everybody, right?
Well, they were proving to all the parents, like, we're going to keep an eye on him.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, you just fucked this guy's career.
Yeah.
And his reputation.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
You can't even trust your coworkers. I mean, now if you put yourself in an environment, in your work environment, where you got all these other little assholes that have no fucking morals and little mushy brains that you got to worry about their fucking morals.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in that situation. Get the hell out of there.
No, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Start a small business.
Yeah, be an independent business owner.
Yeah.
That's my dream.
I don't know.
I have some fun facts, folks.
Oh, nice.
Jesus.
Here we go.
Look at that. She's dropping bombs.
There's
Fun
only
fact.
a few. There's only a few.
They better be good.
It's okay if they're not.
I don't know.
Black Friday, which is coming up
Very soon.
Next Friday.
is the busiest day for Roto-Rooter, a major plumbing service. They're called in
Makes
to clean
sense.
up the overwhelmed sewer systems.
After Thanksgiving.
I just said no shit.
Wow.
That could not be more wrong.
Yeah.
Lots of shit.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense. You know?
Speaking of turkey, in 1953, Swanson, who used to be a big producer of frozen turkeys, overestimated the number of frozen turkeys that they would sell on
What year is this?
Thanksgiving. 1953.
And they created the frozen dinner.
Let me finish.
Dang.
Boom! Prediction.
Yeah, but how?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Freeze
Because
dried.
they so by 26 tons of turkey.
Holy shit.
So the company decided to slice up the extra meat, repackage it, creating the first ever TV dinner.
How about that?
Cool.
How about that?
Okay, I'm going to pause you.
Yeah.
Is there a thing as a turkey that's already cut up or whatever into like big chunks without bone?
Nah, I'm sure there probably is.
Is that a thing? I don't know.
Like a turkey roast?
I guess.
Yeah.
But like instead of smoking
like
or
pressed
baking or whatever a
turkey,
turkey at Thanksgiving.
That's all
That was
smushed
my
together.
question. Is it smushed
It's like
pieces?
lunch meat
Okay.
turkey.
Okay.
So you could buy, you'd still have, I guess you could just buy a turkey breast, but you're still
Right.
going to have bone.
Yeah. I just wondered if there's like a simpler way.
Yeah,
of
there is. Butterball
doing
actually makes a turkey roast,
Okay.
but that's just pressed,
pressed,
turkey.
yeah.
And that's disgusting.
I might be willing to go that route at this point.
Really?
So do you guys host Thanksgiving here?
We do. And
you just don't want to fuck
well,
with a turkey?
every year my mom brings the turkey and already baked and dressed,
Ready to go.
and sliced and everything, and so it's ready to go. And this year, Kristen mentioned something about maybe my mom didn't want to do that, and she's like, "You like smoking meat on the grill? You should smoke a turkey." And then I had these like horror thoughts of like, that means I have to carve a turkey. I've never done that.
Oh,
like,
that's easy. I can help you with that.
easy? It can't be easy.
It's easy.
I can help you
What?
with that. Seriously, I've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, my husband does it and he does it.
And I've learned
always the
some
men.
tricks.
Right, but I'm not that guy.
No, it's really, I'm telling you, it's a piece of cake. And there's probably YouTube videos. I can't believe you haven't found them yet.
I haven't
that
tried.
show you how to do it. But I've learned some tricks over the years. I used to do it a very traditional way where I would, just take the bird and I would take off the legs and the wings and I would just start cutting slices of breast off. What I do now is I still take off the legs and the wings, but then I cut the breast off in giant chunks and then I just cut the breast into slices. It's a lot easier that way. And I don't waste any meat on the breast because everybody loves the white meat and they want all that, right?
Right.
The biggest problem I have is getting dark meat off of the bird. Obviously, you have your legs and your wings, but you got to throw it over on the other side and you try to get some dark meat out of the rest of the bird. It's a little more challenging because these birds are genetically modified so that they have all they have is fucking white meat.
Yeah.
But it's not hard. You shouldn't be afraid of it.
You'll
And
do all right.
I am a
And
little afraid.
I would say.
Go buy yourself one of those Cornish game hens and and practice.
Do a
Okay.
practice
Good
run.
idea.
No,
Well,
I'm
I
not
think
lying.
it's
Yeah.
I'm not being
No,
sarcastic.
I believe
It's
you.
like get one
That's
of
a
those
good
little guys
idea.
or one of those pre-cooked chickens you can get
Yeah.
at Beerbergs.
Right.
But also
Just go
And
to
just-
Schnucks and-
Yeah.
I wouldn't go too big if you're going to do it. I would do like a 10-pound, because if you do any bigger, I mean, it takes forever to roast a turkey.
Yeah.
And you're doing that at a higher heat. If you're
Right.
trying to smoke a turkey at low heat, slow and low, and you want to do anything, it's going to take a long time for you
Well,
to smoke
I
something.
did look that up on YouTube, and I was surprised to see that they were only talking like, I want to say 4 or 5 hours or
Well,
something.
what temperature are they smoking
Like
at?
250 or something like
Wow.
that.
All right. Well, maybe
I
I'm
mean,
wrong
I
on
could
that.
be wrong too,
I would've
but I
thought
mean,
that-
I've smoked a brisket for 14 hours, so I
Right.
was like, if
and
it's
that's
less than that,
way
I'm fine
less
with
in
it.
poundage than
Right.
10 pounds, right? I mean, you're not doing a 10-pound brisket.
Oh yeah, like a 14-pound brisket.
Okay, well,
12
still,
pound brisket. But yeah, okay,
fair enough, right? I mean,
Right.
you would think that they'd
yeah,
line
you would
up.
think.
I just bought a new turkey fryer.
Oh, nice.
So we had previously had the traditional turkey fryer with the shitload of peanut oil and
Right.
fire hazard. And
Yeah.
we're lucky nothing's been burnt down to
Uh-huh.
date, and it won't be because we're no longer going to do that method. So what I bought is an infrared oilless
Oh,
turkey
okay.
fryer. This thing's badass.
Have you used it yet?
I seasoned it on
Okay.
Saturday, which means I had to rub the insides down with oil, like Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
kind of, but inside out as opposed to outside in. And so then I hook up the propane tank, and then and I fire that bitch up, and it was so cool. It's just so it's fancy.
What is the physics of it? What is it doing?
There's a chamber of there's like an air chamber around the cooking vessel, and that's where your burners are. And
So it's like
ring.
an air fryer.
Kinda, yeah, yeah. It basically just heats up that outside chamber that creates this oven,
Okay.
so to speak. But it is like an air fryer because you basically oil the bird and then you rub the bird with all your dry rub and you inject it with seasoning, like Cajun Creole seasoning. Anyway, I read all the reviews on it. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, this is a fucking game changer." My neighbors across the street actually have one. They're like, "Dude, this is the way to go."
Yeah.
And it was $120, but I spend every year for the past however many years, I've spent like $50 on peanut oil.
Yeah, oil.
Plus bird, and,
Right.
obviously, do
And the
bird
amount
no
of
matter
time you have to stand out there and watch
Right.
it.
yeah, it still takes time, but you don't have to monitor it as closely because you don't have the risk of oil, bubbling over, creating a giant grease
Burn the
fire.
house down.
Right. So I'm
Cool.
really excited about
Yeah.
it. So once you oil it down,
Well, you can come over Friday, and we're doing our house on Friday. So
I would say I would smoke it if I were you.
yeah,
Don't be afraid of it. You never know until you try. And if you fuck it up,
it's just turkey.
It's just it's just
It's only
just a
Thanksgiving.
bird that lost its life. It's
Yeah.
okay. No, I think
It's intimidating though.
I don't
It's a
think-
big.
Mm-hmm.
You can fuck it up
bird
too
that-
bad though.
You can. I mean,
You've got a meat thermometer. You know when shit's
right.
done.
Hey, I wouldn't worry that much about cooking it. It's the carving and I don't want to turn it into a
The carving's the least of your worries.
butchering mess.
I would be more worried about making it a dried out like Christmas
Yeah.
vacation type of scenario. That's what I would be worried about. That, or I'd be worried about. I mean, just
I love how they're
just-
like gnawing on.
being
Dipping it in their
underdone.
water glass.
Yeah. I would worry about pulling off and having blood coming out of it
Oh,
still. 'cause-
God, that'd be
But
disgusting.
again, that's what you have a meat thermometer. You can monitor these things. You know how to keep things. You've done a brisket. You smoked other things. You know how to keep
Sure.
things moist while you're smoking them. So yeah, don't be afraid of it. And the carving thing, that's a piece of cake.
That's the part that
Yeah, that
intimidates
doesn't,
me.
I wouldn't be
Go
intimidated
get
by
a
that at
baby
all.
chicken. Go
All
get a
right.
chicken
Yeah,
and
Practice.
practice.
and sharpen your knife. That's critical.
I have an extremely sharp knife
Yeah.
that I got for the brisket, which is
So my
works
mother,
really good.
she won. What she got? She got a bonus, or maybe she won something.
It was the chili cook-off. I think she won the knife.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
she got this knife, and I think I don't know that she's ever used. She's
I don't
allowed me
know.
to use it
Yeah.
Yeah.
for carving the turkey because it's like a
It's a
$300.
$300 knife. Yeah, it's swinging.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like what they call blue steel, and it's gorgeous, and but it is sharp as hell, man. And I get a little bit scared using it, but also you need a really sharp, really good knife
Yeah.
to carve a turkey. And then I start with that. I cut the big chunks up, but then I use an electric knife, and because it's just quicker. I can spend all day, carving turkey with just a
He
regular knife.
carves and I sample.
Yeah.
He carves and I
Yep.
sample.
I do, I get into that part of it and I think it's a grandma thing that she. I mean, when she was done cutting up the turkey,
there was nothing left.
There was nothing left. She had grease up to her elbows, and she now put that in the bag. I'm gonna make soup later on. Every part.
Don't throw that out.
Nothing got wasted.
Yeah, that won't be me. I'll be wasting a lot of that turkey.
There's been times when I've taken the turkey carcass home, but I never do anything with it. I always have great intentions. I'm like, hey, just fucking throw it away. I ain't got time for that shit.
Yeah.
Turkey soup sounds great until you really got to put the work in.
Until you have to make it. Yeah.
We've talked about before, and I want to get back to your facts a little bit.
They're not that big of a deal.
What are your favorite Thanksgiving dishes? Go-tos. You got to have this every year.
Mashed potatoes.
Yep.
Oh, that's
hands down mashed potatoes.
Kind of boring, but I mean, I
well,
love
you know what yours is. You're all about your fucking sweet ass yams and eating candy.
I do sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
My in-laws.
I love mashed potatoes and gravy. Don't get me wrong.
No, we do both.
Yeah.
I mean, but
I don't think
my mother's mashed potatoes are the first thing, are the last thing I would ever say is boring. They are spectacular.
Okay. I'm curious.
They are not your average mashed potatoes.
No, they're whipped potatoes.
Okay.
They are. It's a game changer. I mean, look, my nieces, they save they won't eat that much. They go to her in-laws before they come over.
They save room for these potatoes.
Yes, for potatoes.
And they walk through the door and they go. They don't stop.
Is
they
there
go directly
something
to the
else besides potatoes going on here?
Heroin,
What's going on?
I think is in there, and
That'll do
maybe
it.
some crack cocaine
They'll
and
do
methamphetamine.
the mashed potatoes at my mom's.
Is she
prefer
putting
my
some
mom's
cream in
stuffing.
them or something, or what's going on here?
It's really just buttermilk,
potatoes, salt.
It's just.
It's the texture.
Again, I love potatoes.
It's
so
time.
Sounds good.
It's she puts in it's
a brown gravy or a white gravy.
Brown gravy.
Brown.
Well,
Okay.
it depends on what you're having, right? I mean,
for Thanksgiving, it's
Thanksgiving.
brown gravy.
Yeah.
Brown gravy.
But some people have a whiter, milky type turkey gravy.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay.
But
But
to
she
each his
actually
own.
takes the drippings from the roasted turkey and makes gravy. Another thing I'm excited about with this oilless turkey fryer is that it has a dripping pan. I cannot wait. And then they actually give you instructions on how to make gravy out of that.
Nice.
And I'm like, so we're gonna have two kinds of gravy this time around. So we're gonna see what happens.
So I'm sure my wife's told you this, that if she could she would do without turkey at Thanksgiving if she had to. She would eat all the other stuff but the turkey. Not that she eats turkey, but she doesn't. That's not why she does Thanksgiving dinners for the turkey. Where you guys fall in on that? You love the turkey and got to have some turkey. Yeah, I do too.
I don't feel like the meal. I mean, no, I gotta have the turkey.
She's also a dark meat person instead of a white meat. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but white meat's better.
If there was something that I could, sweet potatoes I could remove. I know you're a fan. I would, but if there was things that I could get rid of out of my Thanksgiving dinner, it would be sweet potatoes, turnips, which most people don't have. But my weird ass family has these fucking turnips.
I like turnips.
I don't know, man. That's about it.
That's pretty much it.
Well, no, I like the canned cranberries.
Yes, not the fancy mold.
Right. My parents seem to think that everybody needs to make this.
Just stick with the ocean
And they put
spray.
a lot of time. I know that they think that they're just stop with that. Just pour the can out, slice that shit
That's
up.
what everybody wants anyway.
But cranberries are, it's all right. But yeah, I mean, I think turkey, taters, the Brussels sprouts are a must-have.
Stuffing.
Corn, stuffing. Yeah, those things. That's like the. That's it. That's it. Those things have to be and gravy, right?
Is there a difference between stuffing and dressing?
I don't know. They say there is.
Question.
I don't know what it is.
I've always thought of it as the same thing, but if it's in the turkey, it's stuffing because you stuffed a turkey with it. If it's dressing, if it's outside, it's just dressing. But if it's in a fucking Tupperware or a ceramic dish, it's the same.
It's whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Like and Brian's mom makes a cornbread style one with like little bits of carrots, and it's not bad. It's good.
Okay.
But it ain't mom's.
Right. My mom makes a traditional bread one with sage and little like the giblets go in there.
Bunch of celery.
Yeah, a bunch of celery and onion go in there. It's
really
bomb.
Good.
Yeah.
And one year, remember the year she put oysters in that shit? Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, something's not right. And she, I don't think she fessed up to it until afterwards. She's like, all right, fuckers, I put oysters in it trying to do it what her mom did. And she's like, well, that'll never happen again.
No.
Because nobody liked it. I don't even think she liked it. I think she knew.
And
she saw the error of her ways.
She serves it in the Penguin every year.
Right. There's other traditions too, but the penguin is an important one.
Now, do you guys do like the in-laws on one day and your family on the other? Is it always 2 meals?
We celebrate on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
Only. We don't do anything on Friday.
Your family.
So she goes to
what
her
about
in-laws.
Brian's
I have
family?
to go to my in-laws.
Oh.
So we go to their house
you
for
don't
lunch.
Get together with your mom and Ryan?
after-
Then we go over there
Yeah.
for dinner.
Oh, same day, but 2 meals. Okay.
But it's
That's fine
exhausting.
too. Yeah.
It's exhausting.
So we just
Right.
do the one because
And
well,
Brian
wife
doesn't
doesn't
ever
have-
want to hurt his mom's feelings, so he'll eat a
Yeah.
full meal at his
Sure.
mom's, whereas the girls and I'll we'll eat, and the things that we like there. Linda always makes a really good turkey, so I do enjoy her turkey.
Wait, better than my fried turkey?
We'll see.
Maybe. Wait till this year.
Okay.
Infrared, bitch.
In the past, the fried turkey, we've had varied level of success. I think that usually it's pretty consistent. The complaint that I have about deep fried turkey is that it's in there for a long damn time, so that the skin and like the legs and the wings they get burnt. They get to the point where
They're
you just
inedible.
can't do anything with that shit. So I'm excited about this because you're not submerging it in oil. It's more of it is a fry, but it's more of almost more of a roast. So all that rub that I put on the turkey isn't going to get washed off by peanut oil,
Right.
and all that seasoning that I inject into it isn't going to get bubbled out because it's not going to be soaked in oil and fried out of it. So I'm optimistic about this year, but
We'll see.
But it's always good. It always
it's never
has a
bad.
unique flavor to it. What?
Oh.
Jesus Christ, we're talking about turkey. Just talking turkey.
We're talking turkey.
Anyway, what you had one more fun fact.
Yeah, let's
Oh, I
get
think
another
I have
one
a
in here.
couple
Quick
more.
one. Or 2.
Did you know that everyone has a unique tongue print, just like your fingerprint?
Oh.
Gross.
I mean, makes sense, I guess.
Sure.
I never thought about
Also,
it.
Female kangaroos have 3 vaginas.
3?
No shit.
They have 3 vaginas.
All
they
in
have
the pouch.
one to get pregnant. They have one to give birth, and then they have what they call the connecting vagina. That apparently is just like that. Yeah.
Wow.
3 vaginas. Yeah, they're tricky
Gross.
little suckers. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Also, it is impossible to hum while holding your nose.
Bullshit. And you just
Do it.
Yeah, I can hum.
No, you can't.
I just did. I'm doing it.
It's really hard. I will
It is
say that.
challenging though.
And as soon as
furthermore,
I
I'm
tried it, I was
pretty
like,
sure-
what the
blow
fuck
your
is
eardrums
happening?
out trying to
Pretty
do
sure
it.
that if we took any part of our body, there's probably. I mean, if we did ball sack prints,
Ew.
right?
Let's not
I
ever
bet
say
you
that again.
Jared's
Did
ball
you
sack
know?
print and my ball sack print are different.
Wouldn't
I
it
bet
be weird if they were exactly the
It
same?
would be weird.
I'm not enjoying myself.
But
This
if you
is
were to
off-putting.
take anything, like if you were to put fucking
Yeah.
ink on your armpit and press it on paper.
Did you know
and did that-
elbow prints are exactly...
Yeah, I think that applies for pretty much everything. The
Maybe.
reason why we focus
Let's
on
take a tongue print. I dare you.
I think the reason why we focus on fingerprints and footprints for babies is because those are the easiest things to put ink on and press
Yeah.
on paper.
Well, this is true.
It's hard to put your ball sack on paper.
Or your tongue.
Or your tongue. It's also hard to get ink on your tongue.
Yeah, that wouldn't taste
yucky.
really
Yeah,
good.
it's
Yeah.
no good.
Yeah.
all right. Well, those are good facts. You need to bring more of those every time. Those are
I
good.
will try.
Yeah,
Yes.
check us out on Instagram. You'll see our sack prints.
Oh, man.
No. Ew.
Maybe.
Nope.
No, I'm
Our
not.
photographer didn't make it down this evening.
Damn.
So, yeah.
Yeah, she's feeling a little under the weather.
Yeah. But if you want to let us know what your favorite Thanksgiving dish is, or what did we start off talking about?
I don't know.
Kurt Russell. What's your favorite Kurt
Yeah.
Russell movie? Is
Yeah,
it Breakdown
Goldie Hawn, our Goldie Hawn movie.
or Goldie Hawn?
Yeah.
Is it Overboard?
Escape
Oh,
from
yeah.
what's
New
it?
York?
Escape
or
from New
LA?
York.
There's
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah. See, those are I want to go back and watch
Yeah.
those movies. Those Kurt
Yeah.
Russell movies. I think
Those are good.
Yeah,
I watched Escape from New York. I think that was the first one.
I think you're right.
It's pretty corny.
Is it
It was entertaining, but I mean, it's definitely
about
80s.
Tango and Cash?
Yeah,
I love
I
that.
remember
That's a good
liking
one.
it,
Yeah.
but
It's one of my favorites.
I remember liking Rocky 3 too, and then
I like Rocky. I still like anything Stallone's and I
I like
like.
all the
Yeah.
Rockies.
I
there is no such thing as a
watching
bad
Guardians
Rocky
of the
in my
Galaxy, and I was making chili, and the Stallone part came on,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Hold on, shut
I always
up,
forget
shut up."
that.
And I told everybody like, "Stallone part's on. We gotta watch." I don't even know his fucking character's name,
Right.
But he's great. Sylvester
Yeah.
Stallone he's iconic.
book. He's consistent.
Yeah, and you can't understand a word he's fucking saying. Yeah, right, Sly. I agree with you fucking wholeheartedly. Fucking get him.
Get him.
underrated. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's properly rated, but Copland.
I don't
think I saw
know I've seen parts of it.
It's
I don't know
really good.
Really?
Oh yeah,
All
it's
right.
like Oscar worthy good, and it has an Oscar worthy. Everyone in it's famous. De Niro.
Copland. Yeah.
It's
better. That's an 80s
Harvey
movie.
Keitel.
Is it
No.
90s?
90s, yeah.
Okay.
Harvey Keitel, Robert De Niro, Sylvester Stallone. Who's
good
the
ones.
dude from? I mean, everyone in it is famous. Robert Patrick's in it. The blonde guy who talks with the real thick Brooklyn accent. He thinks he's been in all kinds of shit. He was on a lot of Bill Burr interviews recently.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's really good. Go home and watch Copland.
Copland. I'm gonna go home
Yeah.
and watch the back of my eyelids.
Nice.
Pretty soon you'll be able to watch The Irishman with
I
another- speaking
know.
of
I
De
thought it
Niro.
was on already,
That's
and I
coming
tried
out
to watch
27th
it
on
I
Netflix,
couldn't.
which that's an interesting new model that they're doing. I like that it's quick to
Launch and
quick
everything
to
comes out at
streaming
once.
and- yeah, well, I mean, they did their quick abbreviated movie theater run, but I don't know. I think that he's under fire from the biographer that is not entirely accurate. What's depicted in the movie about Hoffa. And,
Really?
yeah, it's that there's.
I have no idea what it's
but
about.
I think that they took some liberties. I mean, well, the Irish. I don't want to spoil anything, but I believe the Irishman is the guy that was hired to do the wet work, if you will, for Jimmy Hoffa.
Okay.
Or at least that's the understanding.
That's the story that they're telling. I think.
The movie Hoffa is really good.
Yes,
so
it
if
is.
it's based on that time and characters, that'd be good.
If they only had Danny DeVito. In it,
Now
they
you're
would be
aware
a
of the
game changer.
controversy with Scorsese ripping on Marvel.
Yeah,
And
I
then
think Scorsese's jealous that he can't make
$1
$30
billion
movies like
movie.
Paul
Yeah.
Feig and
And somebody came back and said, I forget who it was.
think
It was
he's
a,
done okay
a
for
comedian or
himself.
somebody
Right.
that said, whatever, The Irishman is half the movie's CGI with this, aging process that they do to make these guys look young. He's like, it's the same as a comic movie.
I mean, so Scorsese did Goodfellas. Did he also did Casino?
I believe so.
I
Didn't he?
I should know,
but
I feel like he
basically
didn't.
he made the
but
same movie
yeah.
in a matter of like 2 years.
But everybody
Yeah.
likes a mob movie.
But yeah, both of them were good, and I like them both. But they're the same. I mean, not the same, but they're same characters,
It's
kind of
pretty
the same
similar, yeah.
actors, and obviously Sharon Stone brings a new dynamic to things. But
Yeah. Casino that's another, I would say, kind of underrated. I mean, it's really good and everybody likes it, but
Really
you go to
good
Goodfellas and then it's like, oh yeah, and Casino.
I hold
But it
them
is
both
really good.
right there. I mean, Goodfellas is better, definitely.
Yeah.
But Casino's, it's right there. I really like
I feel
Casino,
like that
and I
wa-
think it's mostly De Niro's
yeah.
performance in it that makes it as good as it is.
Yeah.
And just that whole Vegas vibe,
Yeah.
that comes along with it. It's good. Good movie.
I can't find anything that talks about
Who the
I see his
director is?
filmography, director. Jesus, 64
Martin
movies.
Scorsese. Director Martin Scorsese.
Of
We're gonna
Casino.
go backwards
and
here.
Goodfellas.
Well, we already know he
Right.
was
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
Goodfellas.
So yeah, that's crazy, man. Dude, they made the same movie twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good for
Now,
him.
I'm going to go backwards, starting with the last
This is
movie
Scorsese.
that to me was a good hit movie. So The Irishman is 2019.
Mhm.
The Wolf of Wall Street,
Great movie.
2013,
God, that's a
great
good
movie.
Gangs of New York.
Shutter Island, 2010. I think a lot of people forget
think I
that
saw
was
that one.
Scorsese. That's DiCaprio though. Really good. It is actually really good. The Departed. I love The Departed with fucking Mark Wahlberg.
That's a really
Everybody
good movie.
loves Mark Wahlberg.
Mark.
Yeah.
And
I just watched Four Brothers
Matt
last night, which is a great Mark Wahlberg
Damon
movie.
was in that.
Yes. Yeah.
Played a bad guy, which is not typical.
Yeah.
The Aviator,
Spoiler alert.
also with DiCaprio, which was a biopic about
Yeah, that was about
what's his name?
That
The
fucking
guy
reclusive dude.
right, the weirdo.
Hughes.
Howard
Howard
Hughes.
Hughes. There it is.
Gangs of New York.
Great
a
movie.
great movie.
Great movie.
Let's see. Casino.
Next would be Goodfellas. In chronology.
The Age of Innocence, if you want to, Cape Fear.
Ooh,
That's good.
that's amazing.
I don't know if it's amazing, but
Oh
it's,
my God, it's amazing. It's a remake, but it's amazing.
Then Goodfellas.
What's the dates on Goodfellas and Casino? How many years?
1990 for Goodfellas, 95 for Casino.
Okay, so I'll give him credit. 5 years difference. He made the same movie twice.
In between that, okay, here's what he made. Goodfellas, Made in Milan was a short documentary.
Poop.
Cape Fear,
Yeah.
The King of Ads, another documentary.
Poop.
Another short, What's a Nice Girl Like You Doing in a Place Like This? Okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The next movie was Age of Innocence, 93, and then Casino, 95.
All right. So
So I
keep going
feel
back
like-
from 90.
Yeah, okay.
Anything good? Hit the high notes.
The Last Temptation of Christ.
All right.
Michael Jackson, Bad. Color of Money. That was with
That's
Tom Cruise and
Paul Newman.
Yeah.
He had,
Follow up to the Jackie Gleason movie where the Hustler.
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
He had an episode of Amazing Stories in 86. King of Comedy. I feel like I should know who that is. 82. Oh, Raging Bull, 80.
That's big.
The Last Waltz was a documentary in 78.
The Last Waltz is great. If anybody hasn't seen it, they should. It's about the band called The Band, and they did I believe it was one of his first directorial things. But it was a documentary. Now there was a bunch more before that.
He's done a lot, but maybe his first big thing or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's really good. It has click on The Last Waltz and tell us the lineup of artists that performed on this documentary. And it's Clapton and Dr. John.
Right. Yeah.
And it's superstar after superstar after superstar that all performed. It was supposed to be the band's Last Waltz. The band was the backup band for many, many bands at Muscle
Eric
Shoals.
Clapton, Neil Diamond, Bob Dylan, Joni Mitchell, Neil Young, Ringo Starr.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, forget about it.
Right.
So it was on Amazon or Netflix, and the wife comes down one night, and I had the TV up too loud, and she's like, "What are you watching?" And I was like, "It's this documentary. It's old. It's 1978, I think."
Yeah, 78.
Yeah. And I just called The Last Waltz. It's about the band, and she's like, "The band." I was like, and I gave her a couple examples, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I know who that is." And so she sits down and watches me. She's like, "Why do you watch this stuff?" And she's just sitting there like, "What? What's the appeal?" And she ended up
with you?
watching the whole thing. She's
Nice.
like,
I get it.
Yeah.
Yep, I get it.
It's really... It's intriguing to see this.
Sure it is.
Now,
this love of music, shared love of music.
that was 78.
Mhm.
His first big thing before that, as far as I'm concerned, his only big thing before that was Taxi Driver, 76.
Ooh.
Okay.
So he had just a handful of stuff
you
I've never
talking
heard
to
of.
me?
Boxcar Bertha, The Big Shave, whatever, in the 60s and stuff. So Taxi Driver, The Last Waltz,
Okay.
Raging Bull. That's what
He and
in
De
that
Niro
order.
go way back, huh?
Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Joe Pesci was in Raging Bull too.
Mhm.
So, Scorsese, he can
He can not do a
throw
whole
whatever
lot
shade
wrong.
he wants to throw, but
He's lived a pretty charmed life.
Marvel movies are good too. All right.
Well, it's the changing times, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to get over it, So you can't make that many movies. Tough shit,
There's a place for it, obviously. People are buying lots of tickets
if he
to
wasn't
see it. So.
being a douche, maybe there's a Marvel movie in the future
Right.
that they may be like, hey,
In New York?
we need this guy.
Can you imagine Scorsese making a Spider-Man movie in New
Still
York? How
potentially
fucking
could.
cool
I mean,
would
he's
that
Martin
be?
Scorsese for crying out
Right,
loud.
but he's being a dick, and he's
Yeah.
kind of pissing off all the Marvel
I don't
people.
think that
They don't care.
No, and I don't
He's
think
still
he cares.
Scorsese, yeah.
It's Martin fucking Scorsese.
Yeah.
And if they want him, like if they need him, they'll still get him.
Right.
Yeah.
How old is that dude? 80?
Oh God, he was making
old as
movies in
hell,
the
right?
50s and
I
60s.
just want to understand
so
how those eyebrows all still are intact.
Yeah.
Like how
Right.
he hasn't lost
he
all
was
those eyebrows.
born November 17th, 42.
So he's 77
Yep.
this
Yep.
year. Yep.
I figured he was older.
Yeah.
As long as he's been
almost
making
fucking
shit.
80.
Means he was making movies when he's 20 or something.
He's almost 80. That's old.
Yeah, well, it is old.
And he
Yeah.
still talks like this.
Well, he's a New Yorker. Yeah.
Well, we went again way past our half-loaded normal time.
Yeah.
So
Because I didn't have to pee this
I
time.
know.
Cut you guys off.
Well, thanks for listening and tuning in. It's almost Thanksgiving. I think we're going to have another episode. We'll see how the schedule works out next week before Thanksgiving. But
We don't have a problem, but we'll see how it goes.
we talked about some turkey and mashed potatoes and
Yeah.
all the good yummies.
infrared frying and all that shit. So
We didn't
yeah.
get into pie.
Oh
We
man.
didn't talk about
Pie,
shit.
so
We're out of
good.
time.
I know.
Out of time. There's no time limit. We are
Well,
always
you know.
captains
For
of our
pie.
own ship. Yes, there's always room for pie. And pecan
What are you talking
is
about? I got a
delicious.
time machine. I got
but
all the time I need.
There's no comparison to pumpkin.
Okay, so I mean, if you think about it, there's two pies traditionally that most
Pecan
people
and
have:
pumpkin.
pecan and pumpkin.
Right.
What's your fave?
Of those two,
Yes,
or
just of those
Sweet
two.
potato too.
No.
pecan.
Really?
Yeah.
Fucking deviant.
What?
Did you say pumpkin?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pumpkin.
The people that like pecan put their belt on backwards.
Brian likes pecan. He doesn't
It's
wear a belt.
sweeter. It's got crunchiness. It's got the
I
sort
like them
of
both,
syrupy
but
flavor.
like, there's just something about like I must finish my meal with a slice of pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Now
I guess,
I'm a no whipped creamer though.
oh, well,
Yeah.
I mean,
He goes like,
That's rough.
I think you can make a bad pumpkin pie. Like you can have a pumpkin pie that's maybe not sweet enough or doesn't have enough of this or that. And then some of them are fucking delicious.
you can make a bad pecan pie.
I guess,
I've
but I haven't
soupy
had
ones
one in a
before.
while. Well, yeah.
You know, I'm like
Yeah.
somebody didn't like put too much liquid in or
Yeah.
didn't put the right amount of whatever in, and yeah. So
I try not
it's
to think
same.
about what goes into a pecan pie because I don't know. It doesn't look very appealing.
Tastes
it
awful
tastes
good.
it tastes fine. If I look at it, I'm like, I don't want to know what's in here.
Oh, it's so good.
What do you know what's in there? It's like condensed milk and shit, isn't it?
Karo syrup and
Yeah.
There's a lot of
sometimes there's coconut, pecans, sugar,
Yes.
a lot of sugar.
yeah.
Yeah, we always we'll generally poll everyone in the household, different family members, what kind of pie do you want on Thanksgiving? And we'll make 4 or 5 different kinds. There's always those two, but there's always a chocolate pie, which is just like pudding basically, but it's delicious. And then there's always some asshole that's got to
It's
say
a
like
fruit pie.
cherry pie.
Yeah.
I want a cherry pie. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's Thanksgiving. We're
Some
not having
asshole.
cherry
cherry
pie.
and apple pie is the American way.
Apple
motherfucker.
pie
Brian would
is the
prefer an
American
apple pie.
But
Yeah.
over any
My
other
wife's
pie.
the same way. Apple pie
not
is
on
where it's at for her.
Thanksgiving. Cherry.
I
Come on.
agree.
Yeah.
I think it should be pecan or pumpkin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't disagree, but I wouldn't sleep on an apple pie or a cherry pie.
Well,
any
we
day of
usually
the week.
would do pumpkin, pecan, apple, and chocolate. Those would be the.
The chocolate pie can go. You throw a strawberry rhubarb pie into that shit and forget about it. You got a game
And
changer.
my
there.
dad does like cherry pie.
Yeah.
So, and so do I. So I'm
I
making
never
pies
dig.
this year.
I
I'm
don't
in
like
charge.
cherry, like the Hostess cherry. You know
Oh,
those
I do.
things.
Yeah.
Anything with cherry, for some reason, I think it's the texture of the actual cherries. I love cherry flavored stuff, like syrup. Or
But
whatever.
like the skin.
yeah,
yeah.
But like strawberries, make me strawberry pie. Why isn't that a thing? There's cherry
There
pies
is,
everywhere.
there
I've never
is,
seen
yeah.
a strawberry
It's
pie.
because it's not as good because they get they're
just
real
good.
watery.
Yeah, I guess.
It's a
You need some
soupy
old
pie.
country broads to make you some
Yeah.
pies. I mean, our grandmother
blueberry.
or a gooseberry pie or blackberry pie,
Yeah.
blackberry cobbler. Holy shit,
Peach cobbler.
peach cobbler. But a
Yeah.
strawberry rhubarb pie
I have rhubarb
is
at home.
probably it's top 3 pies for me.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, at least our grandmothers.
yeah, right.
I don't know that I've
maybe
ever. Aunt
well,
Mildred's was pretty good.
yeah, all of her sisters were pretty solid at it too. But they're all.
It's
gone
hard
now,
to find it
yeah.
someplace else though. Like, oh yeah, we got to talk about that. But it's hard to find it someplace else. Like you don't see strawberry rhubarb pie if you go someplace that maybe has pie. Like
You know where you find it? Go during Lent. If you go to the Sportsman Club out here
They have strawberry
and go to
rhubarb
or you go to
Really?
the fish fries out there.
we used to do that with you.
Well, because it's all just wives of members of the Sportsman's Club that bring out pies and they sell them by the slice.
here's the thing. My
but
neighbor,
the strawberry rhubarb usually goes faster than any
Right.
other pie out there.
my neighbor gave me some fresh rhubarb that then I froze because
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to use it. I have more than enough to make a strawberry rhubarb pie.
Well, let's get this shit done.
Is there a
You're in
rhubarb?
charge of
scared.
pies.
Is
Yeah.
there a rhubarb pie that's not strawberry
No.
rhubarb pie?
No, because
so it's
rhubarb
almost
is pretty
always
bitter.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you have to have a
Because I
sweet
feel
fruit.
like I've had rhubarb pie, but it's been forever, so it's probably
It was
strawberry
probably
rhubarb.
strawberry
Okay.
rhubarb. I would assume. I mean,
should
unless you
try
had
it.
rhubarb that they just added like 4 pounds of sugar.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because
I
you
feel
need
like
a
that wouldn't be very
sweet
good.
fruit to
Yeah.
go with it. I
Interesting.
might. Challenge accepted.
We need to have a pie contest or something, or at
boy.
least just
Except for I don't
let's
make
eat pie in
pie.
front of everybody.
I
You
failed
know, I think part of the reason. Sorry.
at pie. I've tried. I tried to make. Remember, I tried to make that lemon meringue pie. It
It
didn't
was a
go
good
well.
effort.
No, it wasn't. It was terrible. It was
As a
fucking
kid,
soup in a pie
That's
dish.
being nice.
Yeah.
That was my go-to pie, was lemon meringue. I guess because it just seemed like it was just
And it
sweet
was
and
fun.
tart and whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I can't remember the last time anybody even made a lemon meringue pie
Oh, I
around
love
us.
lemon meringue.
I
My mom
think
can
I
still
would
make
still
it.
love
And
it.
key lime pie. I love my citrus
yeah,
pies.
key
You know,
lime.
key lime
I do
pie's
like
good.
citrus pies. Yeah.
But yeah, they're harder to track down.
Why
Fucking
is there a lemon pie and a lime pie? There's no orange pie.
Fair point. It's a damn fine question.
That is a good question.
Huh.
Interesting. We
And
should do some
everyone eats
research.
oranges and drinks orange juice
Right.
and eats orange
Right.
candy. And why isn't there orange pie?
Right.
I don't know. Nectarine pie.
That's weird.
All right, yeah. what other fruits?
Anyway,
Plum pie.
Yeah.
well, write in if you would be willing to eat an orange pie
And if you have a recipe, please share.
Right? Your favorite pie, your favorite dish. How can they get a hold of us, Ryan?
At Load This Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I got the belches.
Jeez. It's all
time
in
to go
Coors.
home. Coors is delicious. And loadthispodcast@gmail.com if you want to send us an email. And on YouTube, get a load of this podcast. And also, you just skipped right over the whole belt thing about how do you still put on your belt the wrong way? Is it the right way now?
No, it's
Still
the
the
same
wrong way.
way I've always gone, Ryan.
You know what? I know we're wrapping things up here, but so my youngest boy, Oliver, God bless him, he has never really needed a belt, but he's got a little badonkadonk going on. So I'm like, dude, you need to start wearing a belt. And he's had a belt, just never really wore it unless it was like fancy day or whatever for him. You know? So I'm like, go get your fucking belt. Your ass is hanging out every time you bend over. We don't need plumber butt. You're 13. Get your shit together. Come on. So he comes in and he's putting his belt on. And he's putting the shit on backwards.
There's no backwards, Oliver.
Well, the difference is that he's left-handed. He has a viable excuse.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's left-handed. Yeah. And I was like, dude, that's wrong. He's like, what are you doing? And I show him. He's like, oh, all right. And I was like, but look, like when I'm done, everything makes sense now.
Yeah.
But for him, it's vice versa.
Right. So and
what?
I
don't get the sense. Like, I mean, I guess because when I do it the other way, it feels weird. So it's whatever you're used to, I guess. Yeah. But
I love it.
I don't get the sense of it.
Well, I think that it's where's the fly at? Like when you undo your belt, where's like everything goes to the left. Everything opens to my left. The belt buckle goes to the left. The thing that the top part of the snap goes to the left. The top part of the fly, everything goes left, right? And then all of
Rebecca's
the
like, what the fuck are you guys?
All the leftover shit goes to the right.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I guess I don't even pay attention to that part of it, but
whatever.
You know.
Well, you're living in a little alternative universe to the rest of the world.
Well, apparently it makes me gay or bi or something.
I think that you need to check a few more boxes before you can claim that, but I think we'll just go with whatever Rick says. We'll just go.
Well, Rick thinks it's gay too. So, but he did say he tries it sometimes. So
tries to put the belt on the other way just to test it out.
You know, just every once in a while.
Just when he's feeling frisky.
Experimenting a little bit.
Yeah.
Rebecca's tired.
All right. Well, we appreciate you listening and not watching on this one, but downloading and subscribing. Please tell your friends and family and coworkers and strangers on the street.
Show.
And we thank you again. So
just don't tell the FCC.
Right. Yeah. And leave out that whole belt buckle thing. So. All right. Until next time, I'm Jarod.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Rebecca.
And this is Half Loaded.
A lot of stuff. We should probably just, let's.
Well, we talked on the last episode about being able to share your accounts and all that.
Right.
And on the live one, you can't. So we pay for the live to watch Cardinal games and whatever else.
Okay.
And it's like $45 a month. And we decided we don't want to do that anymore. The baseball's over, so we're going to wait until next spring and we'll get it then. So we canceled it. The day I canceled, I rolled it back to the normal Hulu or whatever.
Basic.
Yeah. I got an email saying your Hulu Live subscription will go up from 45 to 55. So $10 a month more for the same shit. And I was like, well, that's a good thing I fucking canceled that.
Yeah.
And basically,
I would suggest YouTube TV.
Yeah. Which we had to
Bob just
trial it.
It's good. I like it.
We tried it out. It was good. The only reason we went with Hulu was we did the trial of both of them at the same time, Hulu and YouTube, and my wife happened to attach to a couple of shows that were only available on Hulu, and she was like, well, I want to keep watching that show, so we're like, all right. But I actually preferred YouTube as far as the interface.
User
and all
interface
that.
and all, just how you mark a program for like your DVR or whatever. I mean, it's they've done a good job. Even like I was on PlayStation View and it wasn't perfect, but you take a company like Google, YouTube, they know how to do certain shit. Apple, same way. Apple TV's pretty great user interface,
Yeah.
That's like that's what they do. These companies know how to do. You just see that motherfucker?
We let a mosquito in.
No, I didn't see it.
Is that weird? You should be dead.
Did we talk about? I don't know if we did on the last podcast because I think I hadn't watched it since then, but. I watched Tron over the weekend.
The original Tron?
The original 82 Tron.
Yeah. The second one was better.
Wow, it's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, and I loved it as a kid, but as a kid, I didn't know any
never
better.
even seen it, have you? Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so cheesy. The dialogue
when I watched
is
the
so
Neutron,
bad. Yeah,
it came
it's
out like
good.
8 or 9 years ago or whatever. It was great. And
Was
I
it the
realized,
one about the guy being sucked into a video game?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
maybe I did see it. Jeff Bridges?
Yep.
Yeah, I saw it.
So then I went back and I was like, I want to watch the original Tron again. This was great.
Right.
Is the original Tron as good as I recall?
He talked
It is
funny.
not.
I didn't like the way he talked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good. But
It's so bad.
It's the way it goes, you know.
I mean, you
Most
kind of
things aren't
you
as good as we
expect
remember.
some of that from like it was 1982, and the
Sure.
special effects aren't going to be as good. The special effects are the best thing about it. Like that's that's fine. It's the dialogue and acting that's
sucks.
so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Isn't that funny?
But yeah,
We are talking
Anyway.
about the Big Lebowski. You know, I mean, it's not like
yeah, right.
I don't know. He's
But
pretty good.
that's
in the Big
great.
Lebowski.
He's great in The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
But I mean, in that style, that type of role,
right.
and I like him in a lot of stuff. But
I watched
Tron is not one of them.
the Guardians of the Galaxy, the second one recently, and what's his name?
Chris
got married
Pratt.
to Goldie Hawn. What's
Oh,
his,
yeah,
Kurt
Kurt
Russell.
Russell.
Kurt Russell.
Yep.
Realize how good he is. It's
Yeah.
like he should be. I mean, and he was in that Santa Claus movie that came out last year. Did you guys watch
Fox
that
and the
thing?
Hound as a little kid voice. Yep.
He
Oh, was that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
How about
he
that?
was the hound dog.
Yeah, he's just great.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I want to see. I want to go back and watch old movies with Kurt Russell on because he was great.
Yeah,
Well,
he
was
really
in
was
a couple
good.
of Disney movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like
In fact, on that documentary I was telling you I was watching, Imagineering or whatever, he's one of the. He looks like he's about 20 maybe, and he's like a spokesman for Disney
Yeah.
on there. He was
Yeah.
in a lot of Disney live action,
Yeah.
like as a kid movies. Yeah, he was like a
Well, his
Disney
son,
guy.
who's in I've talked about it enough. Lodge 49. Wyatt Russell.
what?
Who's his son?
Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell.
Who's that?
Wyatt Russell.
I don't know who Wyatt Russell is. Is that the guy?
He's the
who's
guy in Lodge 49, which is the show.
I
He's
watched
also,
the first episode.
It's
That got
good.
canceled.
Is he the dude who's like?
Did it really?
Is he the
I wish you hadn't
dirtbag?
have told me that right
I'm
now.
sorry.
That's the main actor. Is Kurt Russell's kid?
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
I'm
So
wrong.
it was also-
I
Maybe
totally
misread.
see it
He
now.
was also in Black Mirror. One
I
of the
haven't
Black
seen
Mirror
that.
episodes.
And
But
maybe I saw something
He is really good.
that was a lie.
no,
Fake news.
No, it's. I wouldn't surprise me because I know that they were struggling to keep, keep it alive, and they just didn't have the viewership. It's a shame because it's a great show.
I enjoyed
And,
the first episode at least. I'm going to keep watching
Yeah,
it.
heartbreaking cancellation one day ago.
Huh.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
That's
cool.
funny. I never would have pegged him as Kurt Russell's
there's
kid, but
already
now it's like
in the
spitting
LA
image.
Times. There's Lodge 49 season
Someone's
3.
gonna pick it up.
The Plan to Save canceled AMC show, and I really do think it will be Hulu or Netflix or someone will come along
That
because
happens.
it's great, and I
Yeah.
think that there's enough weirdos like me out there that watch it. Anyway, Wyatt Russell's very funny and very good actor, but he is going to be in one of the Marvel.
Yes, I
Disney,
saw that.
Yeah, I forget who he's going to play, but
Remind
It's
me.
weird.
is
He's like
he-
supposed to be a badass or something.
Is he the child of Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell,
believe
or is
so.
he prior to Goldie Hawn?
he's Goldie Hawn.
He's their child.
Yep.
Now,
I mean, the name
what's
sounds-
her name? Is
Kate
not.
Hudson is not. She's
Kurt Russell's
Kate,
kid.
and
Kate
Oliver
Hudson and Oliver have a different father.
Okay.
Right.
Oliver's super hot.
Which really means that Kurt Russell's
He's a badass dude.
He's a pretty forgiving dude. Like, oh, you got these other. We don't even know when those things happen. They happen about the same time. So it was like they just had an open relationship. And Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn were just like, yeah, you want to go get pregnant with that? Whatever.
No, I
Let's
think
go.
she was married, and
It was the 70s.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I don't know all the details.
well,
I should
but
probably do
apparently, because I follow Kate and Oliver on Instagram, apparently they have a tumultuous relationship with their father.
with Kurt Russell.
No.
Or no, with the Hudson dude.
Yeah, and I can't even remember his first name, but like on Father's Day a couple years ago, Kate did a huge thing to Kurt in regards to how special he is and how fantastic
I
he is.
maybe saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and made some comment about, real dads and
Oh, shit.
yeah, a total, direct
Dig
hit.
it, yeah.
At her.
That would
Her
suck.
and Oliver's real father. Well, if he didn't step up, I mean, bad on him.
Did
They
you
obviously did okay
So he
without him.
peaked at banging Goldie Hawn is basically the...
Yeah.
I mean, seems to be. I'm not real certain about what he does.
That's a pretty good place to peak, though.
Okay,
I mean,
let's start this. We'll talk a little bit more about that, and then I want to bring something else. up.
okay.
Okay.
Goldie Hawn was a catch. Still is, I think. I mean, she's old as fuck,
Yeah.
but, you saw that Santa Claus movie. I'm just going to keep interrupted.
Wait.